Hey Stampin' friends! Welcome to the Joy of Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon and it's Fun Fold Friday. Today we're going to make a pop-up card using the Lovely You stamp set. Go ahead and grab your supplies and hold while I flip. Alright. I think you guys can see that okay and it's not blurry. Sometimes I have some blurry issues with my connection or my phone or my camera. Remember to go ahead and comment today. I won't see any of it while I'm doing this, so I won't be able to respond, but leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you like this card, if you've ever made a card like this before, whatever you want to say, let me know, because after the live, I will check all the comments, and one of you lucky comment leavers is going to get this card today that we make. Let me go ahead and show you what we're making. This is a pop-up card, and it looks very normal from the front, and it will lay flat when you ship it, but when you open it up inside, it has this really fun pop-up scene. And this one says, "Let's cheer you up," and it has this fun floral view to it. So really fun card, and it's not that hard to make. It's just a couple extra score lines. We are using the Lovely You stamp set. This one's a great set because it has so many pretty fonts, and they mix the fonts where they have it at the end. Some of it's fancy and some of it's in the middle, and these great floral solid images. These images are great because you don't have to color them in. All you do is use ink and you have that great image and without too much work, which I love. Let me go ahead and show you our supplies and our measurements. Let's start with our measurements for the day. Bring them over here. So I'm not using DSP. This looks like it, but if I flip it over on this other side, this is actually part of a Memories and More pack. And that is this really cool pack that Stampin' Up! Has that has all these papers in it. It has two different sizes, and it's used for either journaling or card making, and it's great because everything's pre-cut. These ones are cut a little bit bigger, and so I cut it down just a little bit for our measurement, which is a 4 here and 5 1/4 here. That'll be on the front of our card. And then I have this little extra piece that I cut off from this guy because he used to be 6. And then I cut him off a little bit more, and you'll see why in just a minute. We're going to throw that in the inside of our card. We have these 2 strips to make our labels with. This is in the Whisper White, and this is in that Misty Moonlight. I've been using this color a lot. In fact, I'm almost out of cardstock, and we'll have to reorder some more. This has been one of my fun favorite new colors, and I've used it a lot on our last couple lives, so it's kind of funny. But these measurements are this Misty guy right here. He is 3 1/2 by 1 inch, and this one's 3 1/4 by 3/4 inch. And then we have our card base, which is a 4 1/4 by 11, and we have it scored at that 5 1/2 right there. And then we have our inside pieces. For our pop-up part, this is 3 3/4 by 3, and that will fit super nicely right there. So these measurements on the inside panel, let me show you this. We have a 3 3/4 on this side, and that's by 10. Then we have 3 score lines. We have 4 1/4, then we have 5 1/4, and 6 1/4. And when you put that through your trimmer or where you score, I have a scoring blade on my trimmer, so I just put it in my trimmer, and I go through and I measure and slide until I have all 3 markings on mine. And that's our inside piece. All right, let me go ahead and get started with our stamping and assembling of this card. I'm going to bring this out today. This is a fun punch, and I always get the name wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Lovely Pick a Punch, something like that. Oh, I'll have to write it down next time. I have it in my blog, so make sure you check out my blog. You'll know the name of this one. But it's so great because it has 6 different punch sizes that you can make with this one. Today we're going to be using this one right here, and we're going to put just 1 end of our Whisper White into there. We'll line it up. I always flip it to check, make sure it didn't go in crooked, and just punch it. Same with this guy. We'll line them up right here. And I'm only doing one end. You could do both ends if you wanted to, but I really like that flush look on the card for this one. There we go. That looks pretty good. We'll pop that one up. So that one's ready to go. We're going to work on our card front first. Let's go ahead and get our ink out. Oh, I haven't even opened it. That's okay. We'll show you how to open this too. This is our new Stampin' ink pad style, and it's kind of like a compact where you open it from the front and it flips. And Stampin' Up! Inks are always stored upside down because we want all the ink to be on the surface here. And when it's upside down, it pours it there and it holds it there and it's ready for us to use, which is great. I rarely ever have a dry pad, and if I do, the awesome thing also about Stampin' Up! Is that there's re-inkers. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this in the Cherished Friend. I always like to practice. You'll see me do that first, make sure we're looking good. And I'll put that right here. Cherished Friend. Awesome. I'll set these ones aside real quick. And the next part I want to stamp is the inside. I had a cute little saying for this one. And when you stamp this, you want to make sure you're below this score line right there. And I'm going to put, let's cheer you up. I'll put that just about in the center. And press down. Awesome. And got that one. I'll set that one aside. And my last stamping is my Mo stamping. So you guys will have to bear with me as I do this part and show you how, though. I did take a corner edger and I went ahead and cornered my edges. You can keep them straight if you want. I like the way it just rounds it a little bit better. All right, so we're going to start with our biggest image and put it in the center. I have this flower right here. I'm going to ink it up, and I want to look like this is popping out of the paper. So I'm not going to have that end on it. I want to have it just a little bit below. You see that there? Perfect. And then let's see. Let's do this guy here. And there's no rhyme or reason. And I'm going to actually ink this one off and then put it just a little bit below. And that kind of gives it just a different color, just a little bit lighter. I'll put those two right there. And I have this fern one right here. We'll go ahead and ink that one up. This one will sneak in on that side. And I think I'm actually going to use this cute flower one on this other side. There's so many great flowers in this one. And you can see that you can see how I'm inking on this side as well. I don't want there to be any ends on my pieces here. Give that look. All right, some leaves. We'll just kind of place our leaves kind of right there on that corner. And we'll sneak one more leaf into this side. Perfect. All right, that's our pop-up piece. And that's all of our stampings done. And now all we need to do is assemble with glue and adhesive. Let's get this card front ready to go. I'm going to use the liquid glue. I use a Tombow. My favorite for pieces like this. I'm going to stick that just right on there. There we go. Line it up. See how you can see we'll shift it just a little bit there. So that was nice. And then we're going to get our labels that we had out earlier that we stamped on. We're just going to glue those together. I'll line it up so it has a little bit of edge on it. Oh, there you can see that wiggle there. Oh man, you caught it. Perfect. We're going to put some more glue on the back. You could use dimensionals right here if you wanted to. I just kept my front pretty flat since we have that nice pop-up inside. So we'll get that lined up straight there. I do have a bow. If you know me well, you know that this almost always isn't in every project, is my linen thread bows. And of course, I like to use the glue dots. Glue dots are my favorite way to attach anything little or bow-like. And the best way to do it, for me, is to put the bow to the dot, and then pinch it in the center, and put it on. Perfect. And then I have these new fun embellishments called, let's see if we can get that focused. They're elegant faceted gems. And these are really pretty. I used this last Saturday for a stamp camp, and I just love them. Kind of see how they have that bling to them, and they're in 3 different colors. And I'm using the rule of odds for this, where I want just 3 on here. And I'm going to use this one that's kind of like a creamy color. Last time I used the clear. I'm going to put them at an angle a little bit, and one little bit below there. And I have 3 of them. So that's the rule of odds, to use them that way. So it makes our eyes happy for some reason. That just makes it look so much nicer when they're in odd numbers. All right, for the inside, here's the part that seems most scary, but it's not too bad. Just to make sure you know what you're doing. This inside piece, what we have to do, we use our bone folder to get all these score lines ready. I have a couple of them good. Let me get it right here on this one though. And just crease it so it's nice and ready for when it's time. Here's a secret. We're only going to put glue on the backside below this score line. Do not put any glue between these 2 here. And you only want to do one side at a time. I'll show you. So we'll get our glue on here. And when I line this up, I'm going to line it up so that middle score is matching that middle score. I'm going to be oh so careful. Let me see if I can see my lighting okay. Right about there. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to use my wiggle room. There we go. And then I'm going to flatten out that bottom half where it's been glued. Awesome. Next, I'm going to glue this side down now. Again, below that score line. And then I'm going to push it up flat. Oh, I have those rhinestones on that side, so it's a little bumpy. All right, I'm going to let that dry for a minute so that way we can pop it up with no issues. And I'm going to show you how to do this guy. I use tear tape because it's kind of popping up there. We want it to be sturdy. So I just take my tear tape, don't even need scissors, and I just tear it and place it along. And I tear it and place it above. So it's about 1 inch is what this actual mark is. It's 1 inch. You don't want anything more than that. All right, I'm going to remove that tear tape and set it aside, that part. Maybe. Tear tape's one of those camera shy adhesives, and they don't like to perform nicely on camera. All right, hopefully that's dry enough. Looks pretty good. I have some mountains and valleys there. You can see that. We made that little tunnel. And I'm going to set this up straight like this, and I'm going to insert my pop-up part. And I'm going to just lay it flush against that side and come behind it and kind of squeeze it there. And we have an amazing pop-up card. There we go. We did it. Awesome, you guys. Hopefully this is a fun fold you haven't made before and that you can try it now. That you see how easy it is with just those extra score lines. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy stamping, everyone.